Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. Great to speak to you again. Here we are, episode 24 of Love Island, Australia. Where would you like to start today?
Well, I think... I don't know, actually. I think maybe the new guys coming in, Dave, because that was quite central to the whole episode. I will say, I don't think it was the best episode. We've had some corkers over the last few days, but this hasn't been one of the better ones. However, we got Mark and Kory with a K, which everyone seemed to find absolutely hilarious. I don't know why, but we all thought it was really, really funny. So,
Small things, Chris, I guess. Keep you amused when you're locked up in the villa for so many weeks on end, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Kory is normally with a C, isn't it? But I don't know. It's not any worse than having a name called crap.
with a K. You know, what made me laugh is though, are you buying the story Kory said about his kid, my dad, and then his kids being in New York and everything? And
Yeah.
that was just like, I'm not saying, obviously, it is true, but he was like, she's with a great guy and everything. And I'm thinking, you are saying everything these girls want to
Oh,
hear.
Yeah, it's just all perfectly amicable. Not that I just couldn't keep it in my fucking pants. Or
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but he got it out there, so to speak. I mean, in the dates, so he obviously got it out there when he was 21. So I mean, okay, so we've got these two new guys coming in. I've got to tell you, Mark, fucking hell, he reminds me of Ross off Friends. You know when he had the whitening gel on his teeth for a bit too long.
Yeah. He's got some teeth on him, Dave, hasn't he? That colour are horrendous.
It is
I mean, he's a,
ridiculously white, isn't it? There was the last UK season, wasn't there? The guy with the gnashes, that were all false and brilliantly white, but this guy sort of rivals him, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. I will give him that, though. He's a model. But I tell you what, Dave, I think he's probably got the best body out of all the guys in there. He's got some body on him.
Yeah, he sort of looks a bit. Do you remember George from UK season 5?
Yeah,
Sort of
yeah.
looks. He's got a bit of a look of him about him, and he's definitely, he's got hardly any percentage of body fat there, so he does look pretty good. I thought it was interesting that when when Sophie came in, she said, this is the last new blood in the villa, essentially. So that's it. If you don't couple up with someone who's here, that's it. You're fucked, basically. So I think just telling him that, I'd have preferred if she didn't tell him that, to be honest, and just kept him guessing. But actually knowing that, then people might sort of try and make it look like there's something there that maybe there isn't, and so play the game a little bit more. But what do you reckon of the dates, Chris? So you had Mac, Millie, and Shelby went off on this kind of group date thing.
I will say that I tell you what I think is Millie. We've give some great press the last few episodes. She's called it down the middle. Kory even says to her, like, you were right, with Cassidy. She's obviously been watching it. You called out, a bullshit, and she just reacted by swearing at you and stuff. Completely right, what Kory said, completely right. However, what I would say, Dave, is Millie is such. Uh, she's a good-looking girl. She's very opinionated. She stands by her friends. I respect that. I do really do. But there's got to be something there. I don't know whether she has this pedestal that her ultimate guy needs to be on. But we see by the end of the episode preview, she's already saying she's getting the ick off this Kory. And
Yeah.
it's like, how many guys are you going to get with and then say, oh, I'm not really interested? Or if they piss you off, she's out. If they like what Dom did, I'm not saying what Dom did was right and stuff like that. But as soon as Dom said something, he was out. Teddy, I don't think Teddy ever had a chance. Like you said yesterday, he called a Mill and that was it. I'm not
Yeah.
fucking Mill. I don't know what it is about her, but she has this Prince complex, I think, where she just literally wants her guy to be like Prince Charming. And I don't know whether you're actually going to get that. I honestly don't.
Um, part of me says that, well, if she's got a picture in her mind, and it's not like she's like 40 and still looking for that person, is it? So
No,
she
no.
she's got plenty of time to try and find that person, but she does seem to write people off very quickly. And I don't know. Should she really settle? I don't think she should, but I mean, it doesn't. she's done well to get as far as she had, considering she hasn't really connected with anyone. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't have thought. I think those principles are okay in life. You want to wait for the right person, but not in Love Island, where the idea is, to win the 50 grand, you've got to couple up with someone and get there. So if this Kory is giving her the ick, then surely she's got to be one of the next to go, I'd have thought.
Yeah, I agree. And I think with Mark as well, clever game playing, Dave. Watching the show, who's your pick? Mac. Mac's not had any fucking interaction with anybody properly. She's been paired with Dom purely as friends. Dom don't give a fuck about her. And he comes straight in, Mark, and says, "You know what? I like a bit of Mac." A
Yeah.
bit of game playing, Dave.
Yeah.
And he seems a nice guy. I'm not saying that. He does seem a nice lad. But if I was going in there and I'm thinking, you know what, I need to have a good week in here, then you would pick the one who's pretty much on their own. So I think he made the right decision. I just think I more want to see what happens tomorrow with Millie and fucking Kory because it's not going to go well, I don't think. But again, it was good today because we get a little bit of interaction, don't we, at the start with like Erin and Eden. And obviously, Eden picks Millie up as a joke. And I thought Erin was joking, and so did everyone else.
Yeah.
She wasn't, Dave. She's going to rip his fucking
There's crown
bollocks off, I
jewels
think.
off. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what, Chris? I flip flop with this couple. I didn't like the whole Jackson thing, didn't like the whole Cassidy thing, and Eden and Erin were right in the middle of that. But the flip side is, I think they look like a real strong couple. You say about Mark having a game plan, come in, right, I'll choose Mac, someone who I'm not going to create any waves, someone who I can couple up with and possibly explore a connection in the short time I've got to make some waves in here. He didn't do a Teddy. He's like, right, I'm going to choose
yeah,
Erin. Um, but I think this pair might be just too fiery because so Eden, to be fair, seems to have his blow-ups at other people. So we saw him, he blew up at Taylor. He was really losing a rag when she was having a go at him. Ended up scrapping with Grant. Then, completely, he was annoyed at Teddy. So he had a bit of a blow up with Teddy, had a bit of a blow up with Jackson, and then ended up having to apologize to Jackson. This pair are too fiery, I think. At the minute, Eden seems to be able to talk her down off the ledge, and this way he just did it by not reacting to how she was. And you know what, Chris? He's being ridiculous. Like, yeah, you picked her up, and where was her vagina? Well, what the fuck has that got to do with anything? It was
it's not
just
like
a
he was
bit.
sniffing it
Bit
or
of play,
something,
yeah.
was it?
He just
Fucking
picked her up
idiot.
and got his nose right in there. What she thinks gonna happen,
I'd be fucked, Dave, wouldn't it, with my
She,
nose?
fucking hell, that'd be the best time of her life.
I would be in trouble if it was me.
but, but what is Erin reading into that? It's just a bit of playing around, horsing around, and then to ask that question, I thought was ridiculous. But the fact that he didn't react to it is part of what talked her down. But then laughing, and it sort of diffused the whole thing. What have we got now? 6 episodes left. I don't think that's put to bed fully. I think something else is going to cause them to blow up. And at some point, Eden's not going to be so passive with her. He's going to react to her. There you go. There's
Yeah,
my
I
prediction.
no, honestly, Dave, I think you're right. I think the thing is, he's that loved up. He doesn't want to upset her, and she's doing the lapdog thing. But you can't go through life like that. Outside world, you can't have that restriction, and they're not going to be living like in each other's pockets like they are on Love Island. You know what I mean? It's an
Yeah.
absolute testament, to be fair, to people who've gone in there, spent 24/7, 3 or 4 weeks together, undying love, and then when they come out, it's like, oh shit, we've got to earn some fucking money now. You're not being looked after and fucking having just an extended holiday. Real life is fucking real life, unless you are a millionaire going in there and a billionaire. It's not going to fucking change. It's going to change. Sorry, that is not real life at all. So it
Yeah.
is a testament to these people who do stick together. And there's been a few, and like I said, there's a couple from the English one who've just had a baby, which is brilliant. Camilla and that. So fair fucks him sort of thing. But Yeah, there's something not right about that. It's too volatile. You've got two like alphas who basically won't back down. And you're right, Eden is not backing down for now. And I think it's absolutely right. I tell you, it wasn't backing down though, Dave. Fucking Grant with Taylor in the bed. They were not middle of the day. I'm feeling horny. Fair enough.
There's no, there's no more invitation required, is there? When you're giving a girl a bit of a sensual massage and she says she's horny, it's like, right, come on. But the thing is, and again, I'm loving this commentator or the narrator more and more. I think he's brilliant. But what is he like saying? Operation um, camouflage or something. But then Erin walks straight out, and Josh is trying to go in there to get his sunglasses. And she was like basically saying, "Look, Taylor and Grant are having some alone time," and he still wanted to go in there. For fuck's sake, surely you only need to be told that once, Chris.
Yeah, just go sit in the shade unless he's into voyeurism, Dave. I don't know, but yeah, I tell you what's funny though at the whole episode, Dave, is I thought Kory come out of a belter with Erin. So when they came in after the date, so about
Yeah,
halfway through the episode, and she just will not let anybody kiss her on the cheek. Teddy tried it, she fucked him off. He's just being polite. He's not like he's going in there for a snog or anything. He's just being polite, peck on the cheek, hug. She's having none of it. Fair enough, she's being loyal to a man. Fair enough. But that is also quite weird in the same respect. And Kory went to do it. She's like, I've got a boyfriend, Eden. And he went, all right, cool. Yeah, great, great. He obviously been watching the show. He's like, yeah, I fucking know. Then he went, yeah, she won't let me go in for a kiss. She goes, she's not all that anyway. And I was like, fuck me. Is he going to be an absolute firebrand, this guy? Because if Eden sees that, he's going to go for him, isn't he?
yeah. I mean, again, I think it's a massive immaturity on Erin's part, really, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
fucking hell, you wouldn't get on in like Italy or France or Belgium or something where the boys and the girls give themselves a peck on the cheek. Actually, I don't imagine they can right now, can they? As part of this COVID
No,
19
no.
stuff, but traditionally, that's how they greet each other. So I just thought it was a bit weird by her, and just again, just bit of immaturity. She thinks she knows everything, but she really doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. I thought changing lanes a little bit. So, what do you reckon to Shelby and Dom?
I I think that's going to go the same way all over of every one of Dom's relationships. He's going to get bored pretty quick. I'll be honest, Dave. I'm not finding Shelby genuine at all because
No,
some of the stuff she said again about I've liked him since he came in. Well, why the fuck didn't you say something? Why have you had to sort of single out Jackson to get to where you want to be with? If you want to be with that guy, just tell him you want to be with him. That's it. If she really, really likes Dom, there's not wrong with that. If he's the love of her life, fantastic. But the way she's gone about it is not it's not horrendous. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen in Love Island, but it's a bit sly. And I think she knew all along that that wasn't right the way she treated Jackson. As far as I can see, I'm sure there might be people disagreeing, saying he's a dick or whatever. But I just genuinely thought that she just they're one of them relationships like, well, stick together if you want. I'm not really bothered about them because I don't necessarily like either of them.
yeah, and again, I'm going to be a bit more on the middle line than you. I think I haven't seen enough of her just yet. I mean, she went on the date with the other girls, didn't she? And she wasn't interested in Mark or Corey at all. She was just completely disinterested, and because she'd had a kiss from Dom, hadn't she? He was playing that knuckle slapping game with Taylor and lost, and so he had to go and kiss someone. Well, that was obvious who he was going to kiss, but I think the kiss did the job, in making sure he was still in her mind space when she was on that date. And then when she's speaking to Josh about him, and Josh says like, "Oh yeah, Dom's really playful." Like, really? Is this all off camera? Where he's a bit of a
Yeah.
laugh and a bit of a joker, like, and we just get to see him as a dull bastard.
Dom, if you're listening, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm fucking telling you. I said it. I'm perplexed because
Yeah, I agree.
I all I've seen Dom do so far is couple up with the girls who are obviously interested in how he looks, and his height. That's it. And then as soon as they get to know him, they're not interested anymore. So it's very early on for Shelby. She's not. I think she's thinking there's something there in terms of the conversations. His conversations seem marginally better than what they were before, but he still seems like he's wrapped up in himself more than anything else. So yeah, I'm not invested in them as a couple, and I think they're just taking up space in the villa at the minute.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she said, didn't she? Sophie said, like, you've got six, less than a week, we'll have the winner, and we've got 6 episodes left. So it's funny because they've brought these people in. It's not going to be like when Amber won it last year and that guy come in, didn't she? The Irish guy who won
Hmm.
it with her.
Yeah, Greg.
Greg, yeah, and obviously he ended up fucking doing a runner after he shared the money and was horrible to her. But Amber's gone from strength to strength. With these guys, I think you're right, Dave. I think like what we were saying originally, you've got like Eden and Erin, Taylor and Grant, possibly Josh and Amelia. But I do think the longevity of some of the relationships is probably better for the subconscious of people. So whether whoever wins it or whoever like comes out the other side, whoever stays together, I'd be really interested in that. And I think as well that like Dom and all the others, you're right, they're just non-fucking Islanders now. They just need to go. But then in the same respect, do we want to spend 3 days where they go on these fake ass fucking I'll go in a helicopter date and all that shit? I must admit,
Yeah.
you're right about the guy, the commentator, when he says, he goes, look, we've all no expense spared here. We're not just having a couple of plastic chairs in a field. We've gone for a metal chair on a path. And I was pissing myself.
Yeah.
And then he went, and also, well done there, Mark, because the production haven't told you, the producer's not told you to ask these
Oh
questions to get up.
yeah.
And he went,
Totally called him
three,
out, didn't he?
yeah, 3, 2, 1. And he went, oh, you'll go far, you. As he walked off. It's a classic. I was thinking, fucking nice one. He absolutely nailed him.
He proper breaks the fourth wall, doesn't he? It's
Yeah.
yeah. No, definitely at least on par with Ian Sterling for me. I don't remember him being this funny in the second series though, Chris. But he's definitely
No,
on form in this one.
no, I don't think he was. I mean, we had Irish Owen, didn't we? The male everyone seemed to like when he came
Caveman.
in, but then everyone fell off
Yeah.
afterwards. But yeah, he wasn't as funny unless he's dubbed some stuff in, Dave, for this. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, it could be one of those things where it's shown at a different time of day, maybe. Maybe it was shown a bit earlier.
Yeah,
Or maybe we just weren't as in tune with him. I remember him being better than the guy in America, but just
he
not
was
quite
god
being
awful. Yeah,
on the Ian Sterling side of things. But no, I mean, so last thing for tonight, Chris. Obviously, we got the fire pit, and Kory and Mark got to choose who they wanted. Pretty predictable which way this was going to go. So Kory ends up choosing Millie, Mark ends up choosing Mac. So that's it. There's only one recoupling left. I think Sophie said. So and it's got to be with these people in the villa. And like we talked about earlier, Millie's obviously she's gone off Kory already. So
yeah.
again, do you think that's got to leave Millie surely very vulnerable to going out?
I think you're right. I think you've called it absolutely on the money. I think she's got to. There's no reason for her to be there just in the background. As much as she's been pretty good viewing and honesty has been fantastic, it's a pointless exercise. If you're not going to find love, you've got to go. And if you're not coupled up, pointless, Dave. Absolute nonsense. I mean, to be fair, Ovi, they said, didn't they, it was almost Ovi and Amber, wasn't it, last year? And they were just
Yeah.
purely friends. They're still together as friends now on social media and that. Everyone's saying, like, they should be together because they get on so well. But obviously, he ended up with someone else and she went with Greg. So it's just strange. There's nobody. If no one else is coming in, then you're right. Millie's pissing in the wind, literally. So it's pointless of even being there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I'd said yesterday was I'm quite looking forward to seeing how the dynamic between the guys changes. With Jackson going out, you've basically got Grant and Teddy on one side, and then you've got Dom, Josh, and Eden on the other. So didn't really see any of that tonight, but I don't think that's gone away. I think we might be seeing more of that tomorrow.
I agree. So if you want to get in contact with us, guys, on Twitter and Instagram at cdrealitycast. And then if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So Dave, great episode, 25 tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow, mate.
See you now.